So, Anthony Charles Linton Blair hyped up on Friday, urging the Remainers to rise up against Brexit. The Sunday Express call him the Remoaner-in-Chief, and his usual dichotomous self opined that, well, he said, yes, the British voted to leave Europe, and I agree the will of the people should prevail. Fair enough. He went on, I accept that there is no widespread appetite to rethink. Okay. And then boom, just like that. He can't help it, you see, he just can't help it. He says one sentence, and then he says another sentence. And the two sentences never quite match. He said, but the people voted without knowledge of the terms of Brexit. As these terms become clear, people have the right to change their mind. Our mission is to persuade them to do so. So, Mr. Blair, which is it? That there's no widespread appetite to rethink? Or that we should change our mind? I mean, you lovingly afford us such right, of course. So, the question ought to be really, when is it too late to change your mind? According to this logic, no decision can never be truly decided on, because we can always change our minds, right? We have the right. Because with Mr. Blair, you see, changing his mind can sometimes be standing operating procedure. I mean, it's possible for him to make commitments, but we'll get to that. You see, as I said, I've already said, he can say in one breath, the will of the people should prevail, and there's no appetite to rethink, and then people have the right to change their minds, and we should change their mind. I mean, after 9/11, Blair urged Bush not to take hasty action on Iraq, of course. But then you get to April 2002, and the UK's thinking had undergone a profound change. Twisting rather than sticking has had a successful history for Blair, obviously, so, I can understand where he's coming from. But he can't commit, well, he can commit. I mean, he later wrote a note to Bush saying, I will be with you, whatever. So, sometimes you change your mind, and other times you make commitments that you follow through regardless of the decision that you've made, even after circumstances change. I must admit, I wanted to get angry when I first saw the article about Blair and his quest to rise up against Brexit. It annoyed me, it did. Who is he? Nothing really, these days. I mean, logically inconsistent over and over and over again, right? So, but then I thought about it, and old Tony, in his long since expired opinion in the ring of politics, was one thing, but then I thought, actually, Brexiters must rejoice. I mean, Blair's track record of being on the wrong side of history is so it's decades long now. He's been on the wrong side of history on just about everything that he ever did. So, wanting him to begin a mission of changing our minds is actually a bit of a kiss of death for that side, I'm sure. I mean, any other remoaners must surely question their thoughts when the candor-devoid Blair turns up wearing your side's strip. I mean, I know it's not a real argument. It's a straw man argument. I'm attacking him, not his argument. But there comes a point when you lack so much credibility that it's not really a straw man argument anymore, you know. When somebody lies and lies and lies and lies again, then you just eventually have to not take their word seriously, even if you want to. I mean, this is why I think the Brexiters should rejoice. I thought I would point out some of his inconsistencies, logical inconsistencies. So obviously you've got Blair as the multi-millionaire working man's hero, of course, leader of the Labour Party, fighting for the rights of the Labour movement. You have Blair as the peace envoy to the most war-torn and fractious part of the world. Kiss of death, right? And then you have his thoughts. I mean, he wrote this in his autobiography about Gordon Brown. So, you know, they were together in 1992 and 1994, but then post Blair's government life, he wrote that he still was not sure. It was the right decision to enlist Gordon Brown. He's still not sure. He had 20 years plus to think about it. Still doesn't know. He claims with Brown, this is important, he was too eager to persuade. so he should persuade us, but in the past he's been too eager to persuade. But he's not too eager to remember or to learn from his past mistakes. Obviously we've got the Iraq and the WMDs. I mean, he was either so wrong or just pathologically dishonest. And it's just a joke, really. So we have to take his word that we should have our minds changed and that the Brexit should be risen up against and prevented because Blair thinks it's the right thing to do, as he has been so right throughout all of his life. And I thought I'd leave you with the comment from Boris Johnson, the clown of the piece. I mean, I think he put it best. He said, "I urge the British people to rise up and turn off the TV every time Tony Blair comes on with his condescending campaigns." Right on, Boris. Couldn't put it better myself.